after breaking Barry's back, after dragging that man through the street. He holds him up by his neck and he's like, yo, is this your hero on some Killmonger? And like, I was into it.
Welcome everybody to the Blerdlines. This is your man Cam. With me as always is
the other Cam Squared,
as well as
Big Josh. What's going on?
And always at the end, keeping us honest,
Professor. What's up, everybody?
We are going to talk about shows that went too long. These are the shows that they all continue. They started at season 1, and then they probably went on to however many seasons later, but they probably could have stopped at a certain time point. And so everyone kind of has their one. Tell us in the comments what you guys think is yours. So I'm going to start first. My pick is from the Berlanti-verse. It is my favorite villain of all time, Flash. And the reason why I say this is Flash season 1 was actually really good. Like, well written, well casted, acted. Was way better than I thought it was going to be. I did not expect it to be anything. I thought it was going to be nice and fluffy and just whatever, but it was actually good comic book television.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to be dark and grim like a Batman or a fake Batman Arrow. It just was like, this is her fun, happy kind of a character. And if they would have just kind of stayed in that lane, I think they would have had something. But after like season 1, that's when things started to spiral, and they got writers from Arrow, and all of a sudden now things are a little bit more darker, and literally every villain for the next season on was #Barry's fault. It was always something that he did that came back to bite him in the ass, like every single season.
Isn't it like 5 seasons of speedsters villains or something like that?
Exactly. And like freaking Flash has as much, like, doesn't have as many villains as Batman does, but he has his own rogue gallery, and they just would constantly just make up a new speedster just because we need more Flashes, I guess.
To be fair, when they hit the Professor Zoom arc, I feel like that was a good foil to all the happy-go-lucky. Like, there was consequences.
True.
They set up stakes. Like, you felt like there was danger, and you didn't know how Barry was going to get out of what was being set up. And so, to your point, they get to the climax of the Zoom arc, and after breaking Barry's back, after dragging that man through the street, I remember the shot where he's beating the crap out of Barry, and he grabs him and he drags him and he holds him up by his neck, and he's like, yo, is this your hero on some Killmonger? And like, I was into it. I was heavy into it. And then what did they do to resolve the arc? We're going to resolve this by having a race. I was like, what in the name of...
And then the other thing is that Barry was healed in the next episode. Obviously, his super speedy metabolism would do that. And he was traumatized.
Yeah, it was 20 episodes of I'm sad, and I gotta race a dude that I can't beat. And it was just like, what are we doing? But anyways, that's mine. I was like, before you go longer on that one, but yeah.
And you drag my face through the street. We not resolving this with no race. We fighting.
Back in my day, when two people raced in the neighborhood, we became friends after. So I don't know what Flash and them was doing.
Well, again, Zoom.
If someone came to me and said, "Hey, you want to race?" we became best friends. That's how I made friends. We raced each other.
But if they dragged your face through the street before that, it would be on site. You would have a fight after we raced. Win or lose, I might fight you.
Hey man, getting smoked, getting dragged in the face, same thing.
Well, shout out to Tony Todd because he voiced Professor Zoom. And that was what was great about him coming in, beating up Barry and doing all that. But I think I checked out of that show around a little bit after the season where his daughter from the future was on there.
By that time, the plot's been...
Was that the Savitar season?
Savitar was like the season after Zoom, I think. Like, that's why I said it got exhausting. Obviously, season 1, he was dealing with Reverse Flash, which is often confusing because in the comic books, there is a Reverse Flash who goes by Professor Zoom. And so like they broke it up and made them 2 separate characters. But I often forget that Katie Sachoff passed through that show too, as Amunet or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah, there was a lot of metahumans that came through. And it was like, again, it was just one of those shows that like, there was potential there. And I think they were getting high on their own supply because Arrow had just became a hit. So they're like, cool, by second season, let's greenlight, Flash drops. The first season does well again. Then they do the next spinoff. I think it was Legends of Tomorrow. So the Berlanti was just on his own tip at that point.
Supergirl.
It was just one of those things where, like, if you go back and rewatch Flash first season, it's actually an enjoyable watch. It's actually super fun, breezy superhero stuff. And it was like, if they would have kept that tone and kind of just had better writing, or just stopped it at like season 2 or 3, it would have been fine. But you gotta, the machine got to keep it moving. So But that's mine. Tell us other shows that we think that overstayed its welcome. Once again, everybody, thanks for listening, and like, subscribe, tell a friend. Talk to you guys soon, and we out. Peace.
Meanwhile, it's the Hall of Doom